Good morning, everybody. I have quite a story to tell you guys, especially those who are living and residing in Victoria. Of course, you Victorians, you'll be going to the election soon to vote in either the present party or somebody else. But I've got quite a story to tell you, and I'd love to tell you and explain what the hell has been going on in a problem that I've been experiencing concerning Victoria Police. Now, before you put your tick or cross on your ballot box, I think it's very, very important that you listen to what I have to say. It actually concerns the antics of a former Victorian Police Commissioner called Ken Lay, as well as a former Premier, Daniel Andrews. And what those two have done to me have been, in regards to a long lost daughter, has been absolutely disgusting. And hopefully, I thought I've got no choice but to come onto the website and explain what's been going on. Now, owing to a lot of problems I was getting from Victoria Police in relation to my case of trying to find and be reunited with a long lost daughter, I had to eventually, on the suggestion of a public servant from Victoria, contact the VCAT in Kings Street, Melbourne, which I did, and I attended VCAT on the 29th of March 2017, so that was 9 years ago. Excuse me, I'm drinking tea to keep my mouth watered. The strange thing was that the Victorian Solicitors General office staff were there, and a particular barrister called Barrister Lafife, and she requested that the court be cleared of anybody not involved in my case and have the doors locked so nobody can enter. The reason was that she had something very important to say and didn't want it to get out into the public arena. And this was concerning the former Police Commissioner Ken Lay. It was stated to us in court in front of a judge, I think the judge was Fiona Hamlin at the time, that the former Victorian Police Commissioner had caused the Crown law of misfeasance, as well as perverted the course of justice by destroying, altering, withholding documents in relation to my case. That to me was very heartening that this was actually said by a Victorian government official, that the police commissioner was corrupt, and in fact under the legislation for misfeasance, which is the law of the Crown, Ken Lay should be facing up to 10 years in prison. Anyway, after I got home to interstate, I then contacted the former Victorian Premier Daniel Andrews, who was Premier at the time, about my case. Of course, I heard absolutely nothing from the guy, but thankfully I have supporters in Victoria, and I was informed that the Victorian Police Commissioner, who by this time had resigned, I think he resigned in 2014, was rewarded for his corruption by Daniel Andrews' government to other positions within the public service. Now, to me, that just smacks of corruption at the most highest point and abuse of power. Now, I have a daughter that was born in 1986, and the last time I saw my daughter was in around about October 1988, when she would have been about 32 months old. I was going through legal battles with the Federal Family Court, but I did have access to her granted to me by the Federal Family Court. unfortunately, games were being played at the time, and in the end, I just had to walk away. And hopefully, in time, we'll sort things out. So anyway, I'm going to end it right here now, but I'm going to tell you that I will be back future on this to keep you informed of what's going on, because I think it's very, very important, especially to you in Victoria who are voting, that you've got a Labour Party in power that is absolutely corrupt. Oh, by the way, I've even contacted our federal Prime Minister, Albanese, when he first took over as Prime Minister, which was 4 years ago now? And do you know something? Not even heard anything from him. So hopefully somebody out there, including the media, will ask him those questions about my case. End of message. Thank you very much for listening, and please subscribe, because there'll be another forward episodes down the track. Thank you for listening. Bye bye.